Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and every week we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. Last weekend, we had a fabulous show. It was a lot of fun. Brought in some great guests to talk about Zillow and all the issues going on with that. This week, we are going to be taking your call-in questions. You guys, when we were out at the Texas Home and Garden Show a couple of weeks ago down at NRG, you guys had so many great questions. So we're going to be taking your questions today and answering them. And I've got a couple of guests here on the show with me to help me answer all those fabulous questions y'all sent our way. I've got Keith Hebert here in the RREA.com studio with me. And Keith is a commercial real estate agent. He's a realtor. He's also a broker associate with Registered Real Estate Advisors. So welcome to the show, Keith. You've been on the show before.
I have. Thank you, Shannon.
All right. And then Chris Childress is here with us. He is also a realtor with Registered Real Estate Advisors, and he's actually our trainer for Registered Real Estate Advisors. So welcome to the show, Chris.
Hey, good morning.
All right, so lots of great things to talk about, and you know, it's always exciting to hear what the consumers want to know about. You know, we try to really answer their questions, and you know, I always take suggestions when people have suggestions for the show, things that they want us to talk about. And it's interesting because one gentleman came by the booth when we were out at the Texas Home and Garden Show, and one of the things that he asked me, he didn't put his question on air for us to answer, but he asked me directly. He said, you know, one of the things that I want you to talk about on your show is how do you find a realtor out of state? Because he had a death in the family, and he's the executor of the estate, and he now has to find an out of town realtor. He's like, I know where to go in Houston to find a realtor, but I don't know where to go out of town to find a realtor. So that's one of the things I wanted to start with, was just answering his question, because it is hard when you have something happen out of town and you've got to go to a realtor. Where do you start? And you know, I don't know about you guys, but I always tell people, call me. Yeah, I'm your local expert, but I can find you a realtor anywhere, and so I can research it. I can find that realtor for them. So that's what I always tell them. What do you tell them, Chris?
It's exactly the same thing. You know, it's realtors it's a small community, even though there's a whole lot of us out there. So oftentimes we'll have folks that'll reach out to us.
And when we've got designations, you know, it's great to look at their designations to know that they're serious, full-time realtors and what they specialize in, because, you know, there's a big difference between selling a ranch, a property, versus a home in a community. And so we kind of know what to look for, right?
Yep. I always tell realtors that, you know, you can practice real estate across the whole world. You can refer anybody to China, South America, and by doing the research. There's a realtor community worldwide.
Yeah. So let us do that research for you. That's what I always tell my clients. You know, just call me, and I can certainly hook you up with somebody, because apparently he did find a realtor and he wasn't happy with him. So I said, well, when you're done with that, you know, when you're done, if it doesn't work and you don't get the property sold, call me. I can find you a realtor anywhere. So, all right, so we're going to move on to some call-in questions. Before we do, a couple things I want to remind you about. We have got a giveaway coming up on Houston Real Estate Radio over the next few months. If you listen to the show every week, you're going to find out details on how you can win an iPad mini. I'm really excited about this. Zeus Mortgage is donating an iPad mini and giving it away to one of our great listeners out there. So whether you're a realtor, consumer, doesn't matter, whoever you are, listen every Sunday and find out more details on how you can win your own iPad mini. And you know what? If you don't need it, it's a great gift for Christmas. So I would love that. Well, both my kids already have them, but I've got so many other people who would love to have them. So it'd be a great gift. I bet one of your kids would like to have them, Chris.
Absolutely.
All right. Also, this coming Thursday and Friday, we have got the Champion School of Professional Development coming into our brokerage to teach the professional etiquette class. And I want to talk about this because it is open to anybody out there. And this is an amazing class for anybody. If you know a college student, if you know somebody in high school even, if you know somebody who just, you know, who's been in a job for a long time, but they were used to communicating by phone, not email, not text, this is a great class. It helps you with communication skills. It helps you with conflict resolution. It's not just about how you set the table. So really cool class. So if you know anybody who's interested in taking that class, we're offering it at the brokerage. So it'll be over in spring, and you can call Champion School of Real Estate to sign up for that class. And it's only like $100 for realtors and $200 for anybody else. So I know they go out and teach. They teach corporate offices, whole corporate offices. You know, they'll take on a company and just teach all their employees this professional etiquette. So that's really exciting. And I know we've got a lot of realtors within our company who are going to be taking the class. So I think that's an exciting thing that Champions is going to be bringing that. over. So if you're interested in that professional development class, professional etiquette class, make sure you call Champion School of Real Estate to get signed up for it, because it's this Thursday and Friday. All right, let's see what our first call-in is, and we're going to start getting your questions answered. If you walked by and had a question when we were over at the Texas Home and Garden Show, when we were down at NRG a couple of weekends ago, and left a question for us to answer, you're going to hear yourself on the air, and we're going to answer it right here on the air for you. Let's go.
Hi, my name's Cheryl, and I want to know, can you help me protest my taxes?
Yes, we can.
Well, what exactly will you do? Just what do I need to do?
All right. Chris, how can realtors help consumers? Because there are a lot of consumers out there with this same question. We get calls about this a lot. How can you, as a realtor, help a consumer with this issue?
We actually talked one of the most recent times I was on the show about a specific client of mine that had that exact scenario where their taxes had just increased and surpassed property values for that particular community. So what we can do as realtors is provide the information needed to provide to the county to prove actual, verifiable resales, in the particular development. So we're going to have access to that information inside of our MLS system that we can provide to them, also generate the reports that they can use to take with them.
Okay.
Yeah, those reports, you really do need a professional working for you, because a professional understands what the tax authorities are looking for. So, the first thing you want to do is call a realtor, and they'll use the proper information, because it's not always just recent sales. Tax information is based on the current year so like in 2014, you're going to be looking at 2013.
Okay, and one of the interesting things is that a lot of times the tax records just know what the property sold for. They don't necessarily know that the seller gave them $5,000 in contributions, or that they did $5,000 in repairs. We know those kinds of things that are put into our MLS system, that we can give them information on that as well. So
that's correct, and they don't use foreclosures in their tax assessment. But if you're in a neighborhood where there's a lot of foreclosures, as a realtor, you can show that, and the tax department will look at that and take that into consideration.
Because that's important.
Yeah, it just cut $20,000 off of a client of mine's taxes because of a lot of foreclosures.
Yeah, I have people that they email me every year, and I send them new comps every year. They go fight them. Now, you can hire a company to go and fight your taxes. I know there's some people who do that, but I have a lot of clients that do them themselves, and they're pretty successful with it. So.
Yep, and we have our realtors can use our home value report. We have an awesome report, and we're trained in how to provide that report. So I'd call a registered real estate advisor.
And that report we were giving away at the home show. So I know a lot of consumers came by and got that report from the home show, which was a really great thing for them to be able to use. And also those home value reports, even if you're not looking at selling your home, it helps you to know when you go to renovate the house, it helps you to know how much to put back into it, because you don't want to over improve the home. So it kind of puts you back in line with everyone else in the neighborhood, so that you can see what they've done on their homes and what improvements you do need to do. And sometimes you find out you need to do a lot of improvements because everybody else has been improving and you hadn't been. So it really gives you a lot of great information, a lot of good information. We're going to be talking about a lot of things in this show. We've got lots of questions to answer from consumers that were out at the home show, and we've also got we got our new Zeus Mortgage giveaway that I wanted to make sure everybody knows about and is listening for in future shows. And then we have this Champion School of Professional Etiquette class coming out this week at the brokerage, so that's exciting. Anybody who's interested in taking that class to get signed up for it. So many great things to talk about. We're going to be talking about Proposition 1 later in the show. Chris, real quick, we've got about 30 seconds. Tell us what Proposition 1 is real quick.
Basically, it's a proposition that's going to be on the ballot in November, and it's going to increase funding for our highways and development of the infrastructure in the state.
And Monday is the last day to register to vote. So in order to be able to vote on November 4th, you've got to get registered by tomorrow. So make sure you get registered to vote tomorrow if you haven't already, because you want to be able to. There's actually early voting going on pretty soon, towards the end of the month, so you're going to be able to do early voting if you want to. But certainly you want to make sure you are able to get out there and vote on November 4th. So lots of exciting things to come here on Houston Real Estate Radio. We'll be back in just a minute. And as always, you can go to HoustonRealEstateRadio.com to get all of the show's information and to watch videos from the show as well. We'll be back next segment with Keith Hebert and Chris Childress here on Houston Real Estate Radio.
Hey, I have a question for you. Just how hot is your garage in the summer? Yep, thought so. Hot. Hot. And even hotter, right? So what if I told you that there's a product that can now help keep your garage cool? Introducing Windy Vent, a revolutionary passive garage ventilation system that works off thermal airflow to allow free airflow in during hot summer months and can be closed to keep the cold out in the winter. Windy Vents are sold in pairs and install in as little as 30 minutes. Get your revolutionary Windy Vents today and say no to your hot garage. You don't have to leave your garage door up to cool your garage anymore. Vent it 24/7 with Windy Vents. To get yours now, go to windyvent.com. Get 10% off your order. Just enter the word Shannon as your coupon code. Don't wait. Go to windyvent.com. windyvent.com. That's 2 E's. windyvent.com. Installation not included. See windyvent.com for certified installers and for more information. Restrictions may apply. See website for details.